Biden White House's press team has started pre-screening the questions reporters will be able to ask Press Secretary Jen Psaki during the daily White House press briefings, following widespread mocking of her many promises to circle back when she's unable to answer a question. The National File wrote, Psaki has, in a noticeably short period of time, become infamous for deflecting tougher questions from the White House press corps by saying she will circle back with more in-depth information on a particular question. When one journalist attempted to follow up on Psaki's promise to circle back, the befuddled secretary spent 30 seconds shuffling through paper before promising again to circle back with more information. Now, multiple reports indicate Psaki is screening questions from reporters. 3 sources cited by the far-left outlet The Daily Beast, along with written communications, revealed that Biden staffers had already, on occasion, probed the reporters to see what questions they planned on asking new White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki when called upon during briefings. Daily Beast editor-in-chief tweeted the following: exclusive, White House reporters say Biden's staff is asking for their questions in advance before Jen Psaki's televised press briefings. Of course, White House spokespeople dodged the question, only saying that they're trying to foster a more useful and informative environment for both reporters and the public. Biden's press team did not deny that staffers had solicited questions from reporters, but the White House contended that it has tried to foster a better relationship with the press corps than the previous administration. But nowhere did they indicate that it was the press themselves that fostered the bad relationship between the Trump White House and the press corps. And she never mentioned how available and open President Trump was, despite the hostile press, complete opposite of the new president. Moving along, so do we remember kids in cages? The Democrats went on for months and years blaming President Trump for cruelty at the border by placing migrant kids in cages. Come to find out, the pictures they used to attack Trump were from the Obama administration, and reports surfaced that the Obama administration actually built the cages. So not to point out the obvious here, but the Dems and media lied right to your face. Nothing new, right? President Trump was just handed the flawed policies, and he actually fixed the problem. In doing so, we found out about the horrors that these kids go through to get to the United States, all attracted to these borders from bad policy after bad policy. Catch and release, sanctuary cities, adults allowed to pass with children without proof that the children were family. This, of course, raised questions of child trafficking, and sure enough, often kids were sold to single men over and over again. Once they cross the border, they go back across to Mexico and cross again into America with another adult. From the National Pulse, the Biden administration is opening an overflow facility for unaccompanied migrant children apprehended at the U.S.-Mexico border. The federal agency tasked with the children's care told CNN in a statement. The Health and Human Services Department will reopen a facility in Carrizo Springs, Texas, that can accommodate about 700 children and can be expanded if necessary. The reopening of the facility comes amid an increase in apprehensions of unaccompanied children to the southwest border, fueled in part by deteriorating conditions in Latin America and a perceived possible relaxation of enforcement and reduced capacity limits at other facilities due to COVID-19. It also comes as President Joe Biden rolls out new immigration executive orders tackling migration to the U.S. southern border. So the Trump administration improved the facilities and separated the children for their safety, which under any other circumstance besides a Trump administration move would make so much sense even Mr. Rogers would give it the thumbs up. Welcome to my immigration neighborhood. Then, because of other sweeping reforms, the migrant caravan stopped, the incentive to cross illegally went away, and through Trump administration policies, lives were saved, and we still allowed more people into America legally than any other nation on the planet. The narrative was always to trash Trump as a dictator, xenophobic, and racist, which unfortunately prevented half the country from truly understanding the dangers of Democrat policies that push the limits of open borders. Joe Biden has signaled people to come illegally. New York Times and CNN, who made it a daily feature to attack Trump on this issue, are not offering any criticism to Biden at all. But of course, we knew this was going to happen. So these centers will now reopen. They will be detained. These children will be detained. When these children arrive at the border, we will be locking them up in detention centers. So along with this revelation and other decisions through dictatorial executive orders that the president claimed he wouldn't do, the new policies will tax our resources. We will throw money at it endlessly. And what will happen to all these people who have never been vetted and will be immediately milking our welfare system? Well, sure sounds like a Democrat voter base to me, but hey, that's a whole other story, isn't it? And that is my opinion, of course, and I'd like to hear your opinion. Keep the conversation going. Leave your comments. I look forward to reading them. Thanks for hanging out. Don't forget to like and share this video. Subscribe. Hit the notification bell to receive more of our videos. I'm Rich.